She always said the same thing. "Don't worry, he's just a friend." She said it calmly, without hesitation, as if those words alone were supposed to erase my doubts. And for a long time, they did. Because believing her was easier than admitting that something felt wrong. Because trust, once you give it, doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades slowly, quietly, almost politely. We had been together for 3 years. 3 years of routines that slowly turned into a shared life. Morning coffee before work. Evenings on the couch, half watching something, half talking about nothing. Weekends that felt familiar instead of exciting. We weren't dramatic. We didn't fight often. We didn't have big problems. We were comfortable. And comfort can feel exactly like love until something starts to shift. She met him at work. At first, he was just a name. Someone she mentioned casually while talking about her day. He's funny. He makes work easier. He understands how stressful it gets. I didn't think much of it. Why would I? Trust doesn't disappear overnight. It fades quietly. Over time, his name came up more often, not every day, not enough to start an argument, just enough to feel present. Her phone started lighting up more than usual. During dinner, during movies, late at night when we were already in bed. I noticed. Of course I noticed. But I didn't say anything, because I didn't want to be that guy, the jealous one, the insecure one, the one who turns small things into big problems. So I stayed quiet. One evening, I finally asked, not accusing, not angry, just curious. "Who's texting you so much?" She smiled without looking up. "Oh, it's just him," she said. "My friend from work." Just a friend. Those words stayed in my head longer than they should have. After that, I started noticing things I had ignored before. The way she laughed at her phone, the way she turned the screen away when I walked past, the way she suddenly needed privacy for things that never mattered before. She started coming home later. She said work was stressful. She said she was tired. And every time I asked, she reassured me. "You're overthinking. There's nothing going on. He's just a friend." I wanted to believe her, because believing her meant my life stayed the same, because doubt is uncomfortable and the truth is terrifying. The moment everything began to change was quiet. No argument, no raised voices. She fell asleep on the couch one night, the TV still playing softly in the background. Her phone was charging beside her. It vibrated. Once, then again. I didn't pick it up right away. I stared at it. I told myself to ignore it, to go to bed, to trust her. But something inside me already knew. I sat there for a moment watching the phone vibrate in the dark. I didn't touch it. Not yet. I told myself there was a reasonable explanation. That I was overthinking. That trust meant letting things go. But the feeling in my chest wouldn't leave. It wasn't anger. It wasn't fear. It was recognition. That quiet moment when you realize the doubts you've been pushing away were never imagination. I picked up the phone, not with shaking hands, not in a rush, slowly, carefully, as if moving too fast might make the truth disappear. The screen lit up. One message. No emojis, no jokes, just words. "I wish he wasn't there. I miss you." That was all. And that was enough. My mind didn't explode. I didn't panic. Everything went quiet. Because suddenly, every strange moment from the past few months lined up perfectly. The late nights, the distracted smiles, the way she made me feel guilty for asking questions that now felt obvious. I sat back down on the couch. The TV was still playing, but I couldn't hear it anymore. I stared at the wall, holding her phone in my hand, reading the same message again and again, trying to understand how something so small could change everything. I didn't wake her up, not because I was afraid of confrontation, but because I needed time. Time to breathe, time to think, time to feel what I was feeling, shock, disappointment, tired of guessing, tired of pretending nothing was wrong, tired of trusting someone who was already halfway gone. The night passed slowly. I barely slept. When morning came, I already knew what I needed to do, but knowing and doing are two very different things. When she finally woke up, nothing felt real. The morning light came through the window like any other day. The same sounds, the same routine, except everything had changed. She smiled at me, still half asleep, and asked what I wanted for breakfast. That smile hurt more than the message, because it meant she could switch between two realities without hesitation. I didn't say anything right away. I watched her move around the kitchen, making coffee, talking about her plans for the day like nothing was wrong. And I realized something unsettling. She had already made peace with what she was doing. I was the only one still catching up. When I finally spoke, my voice didn't sound like mine. Is he really just a friend? The question hung in the air. She froze, just for a second. But that second told me everything. She tried to explain. She said nothing physical had happened. She said it wasn't serious. She said I was misunderstanding things. She said it didn't mean anything. But it meant something to me. Because trust isn't about what you're allowed to do. It's about what you choose not to do out of respect. I asked her why she didn't tell me. She said she didn't want to hurt me. That answer stayed with me. Because the truth doesn't hurt as much as deception. I realized then that I wasn't angry anymore. I was disappointed. Disappointed that she let someone else step into a space that belonged to us. Disappointed that she watched me doubt myself and said nothing. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I simply told her I couldn't do this anymore. She asked me to stay, to talk, to give it time. But time wouldn't fix what was broken, because what was broken wasn't the relationship. It was the trust. Packing my things felt unreal, like I was watching someone else's life. Every item I picked up carried a memory, some good, some painful, all of them suddenly heavy. Before I left, she asked if we could talk later. I looked at her and realized something important. If someone can look you in the eye and tell you everything is fine while slowly choosing someone else, they already made their decision. I didn't leave because I hated her. I left because staying would mean betraying myself, because loving someone should never require silence. Now, when I hear the words, just a friend, I don't argue. I don't question. I pay attention. Because the truth usually isn't hidden. It's softened, repeated, and said calmly enough that you almost believe it. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come with a dramatic ending. Sometimes it arrives quietly, wrapped in reassurance, and leaves you wondering how long it's been there.